Muribwanji Mwashibukeni, good morning Africa. You are tuned into Africa Good Morning, your go-to morning show bringing you the latest in current affairs, sports and entertainment from across the continent. Catch us live on DStv 285, GOtv 25, 1up2.com and Network Media Hub on YouTube. Today we start with the AU summit wrapping up in Addis Ababa, focusing on reparations and new leadership. Russia finalizing a naval-based deal with Sudan, expanding its military footprint in Africa, and U.S. foreign aid to Africa agriculture facing uncertainty after policy shifts. We also zone in on Zambia's current affairs, sports and entertainment with our correspondent Mike Sichula, bringing you insightful updates from Lusaka. From political developments to the latest in music and football, we've got you covered. Now let's jump straight into today's top stories after the break. Let's get into our top stories. The 38th Ordinary Session of the African Union was held in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia from February 12 to 16, bringing together leaders from across the continent to shape the future of Africa. A key focus of the summit was the 2025 theme of the year, Justice for Africans and People of African Descent through Reparations. This initiative highlights the commitment of the African Union, its 55 member states, African citizens and the African diaspora to achieving reparatory justice and racial healing. The summit reaffirmed that reparations are not just about acknowledging past injustices, but also about securing a just and equitable future where Africans and people of African descent can thrive with dignity and equality. As part of this effort, the African Union aims to develop a common African position on reparations, establishing an African reparatory program of action, and strengthen partnerships with the Caribbean community and the global African diaspora through a joint mechanism on reparations. Now, these measures are intended to bring tangible and transformative justice to those affected by historical injustices. In a major leadership change, Djiboutian Foreign Affairs Minister Mahamoud Ali Yusuf was elected as the new chairperson of the African Union, assuming a crucial role at a time when there are increasing calls for the continental bloc to undergo structural reforms and enhance Africa's self-reliance. Moving on, Russia has finalized plans to establish its first naval base in Africa, solidifying its position alongside global powers like the United States and China. The Sudanese government has confirmed the long-delayed agreement for Russia's naval base on the country's Red Sea coast, stating that there are no remaining obstacles to its implementation. Russia's decision to establish a naval base in Sudan is driven by strategic, military and economic considerations, reflecting its broader efforts to expand its influence in Africa and enhance its global military footprint. If successfully implemented, this would be Russia's first permanent naval base on the continent, granting it a crucial presence in a region of growing geopolitical significance. The base is expected to serve as a key logistics hub for Russian warships, including nuclear-powered vessels, strengthening Russia's naval capabilities in the Red Sea and beyond. According to Sudanese Foreign Minister Ali Youssef, a final deal has been reached with Russia, and both parties are in complete agreement over the establishment of the port. He further emphasized that the only step left is the ratification of the agreement, after which construction and operational planning can proceed. Its establishment highlights Russia's strategic realignment, particularly in light of recent geopolitical shifts, including the loss of its military assets in Syria. Now, Zambia's tourism sector experienced a remarkable surge last year, with tourist arrivals reaching 2.2 million, a 70% increase from the previous year. President Hakainde Hichilema celebrated the milestone in a tweet, calling it incredible news and emphasizing the sector's role in job creation and economic opportunities. The impressive growth has been credited to a mix of strategic marketing efforts and Zambia's rich natural and cultural heritage. Tourism Minister Rodney Skumba noted that beyond the rise in visitor numbers, the industry also saw a significant financial boost, with non-tax revenues surpassing targets by 59%. Key initiatives such as digital marketing campaigns that amassed over 1.5 billion global views have been instrumental in positioning Zambia as a premier travel destination. Those have been our top stories on Africa Good Morning. Now get ready for an insightful update from Mike Sichula, your trusted Zambia correspondent, as he brings us the latest from the heart of the nation, from President Hichilema's strategic push for African Development Bank leadership to the legal battle brewing over Lusaka's cleanliness. Mike covers it all. In sports, the Copper Queens are gearing up for an exciting clash, while a poignant story highlights the struggles of women's football. Plus, in entertainment, your Maps, a bold critique of the music industry, and UNESCO's generous arts funding take center stage. Stay with Africa Good Morning.
Welcome to Namibia, where adventure meets tranquility. With Enjoy, you have access to a wide range of accommodations to suit every traveler's taste and budget. Experience the finest dining and hospitality Namibia has to offer. Booking your dream accommodation is just a few clicks away with Enjoy. Join thousands of happy travelers who have trusted Enjoy for their Namibian getaway. Your gateway to unforgettable Namibian adventures. Visit us today at enjoy.my.na.
It's time for us to take a trip to one of my favorite places, Zambia, as we chat to Mike Sichula about current affairs, sport, and entertainment in the country. Mike Udwanji.
Nere bueno, Muribwanji, Africa, good morning to our dear viewers.
Africa, good morning indeed. Now, Mike, in a bold move to strengthen Zambia's influence on the continental stage, President Hakainde Hichilema is rallying support for Samuel Maimbo's bid for the African Development Bank presidency.
Yes, indeed, the president has been a vital supporter of Dr. Maimbo's bid to become African Development Bank president. So these elections will be held in May this year. So the president has taken an initiative for every international engagement. He travels with Dr. Maimbo to introduce him to presidents of Africa, so that they can rally behind him. So the president has also thanked SADC and COMESA for their support to Dr. Maimbo's bid. And also the president told the African, when he is in Addis Ababa, he told the African Union that Dr. Maimbo has got the experience that he can use to become the leader of the African Development Bank. And he also called on Dr. Maimbo. The president asked him to say, once you are elected as president of the African Development Bank, ensure that African countries have the capital for most African countries. So it is good that the president has been pushing that Dr. Maimbo is elected as the president of the African Development Bank. And Dr. Maimbo has also promised that he is going to work very hard to ensure that the African countries they reduce the cost of capital in developing the nation.
All right, Mike, we'll certainly be keeping an eye on that. However, frustration is brewing in Lusaka as a group of concerned residents prepares to take legal action against the Lusaka City Council for its failure to maintain cleanliness in the capital.
Well, so this is one of the rare stories that you hear people in Lusaka, concerned residents, taking action against their local authority. So some residents, through Fraser Associates, have recently written to the Lusaka City Council over its failure to provide services in various communities, despite the Lusaka City Council collecting different levies from members of the public. So in a letter dated 11th February 2025, the residents have demanded that the Lusaka City Council should release a list of work that they intend to do using the money that they have been collecting since the beginning of this year, failure to which legal action will be taken against the local authority. The letter reads, "We act on behalf of the cross sections of Lusaka residents who have noted with concern the abject failure of the Lusaka City Council to provide public service in various communities," the letter concluded. And the Lusaka City Council has not responded or made a public response to this letter that has been issued to them by Fraser Associate. But however, a visit to the Central Business District, you would see that the Lusaka City Council is trying by all means to ensure that the city is clean. But the biggest problem behind the dirtiness in the city is uncontrolled street vending. Street vending in Zambia is illegal, but however, people still make their ways into the streets to conduct their illegal street vending. And this street vending, they don't clean their premises once they close for business at they close for business. So it is a very tall order that the Lusaka City Council has to be against this issue of street vending vis-a-vis trying to maintain the city clean.
All right, Mike, look, we've got a couple of updates, so we're going to need to keep the following stories as concise as possible as we stay zoned in on Zambia. The country is set to host the 14th African Air Chiefs Symposium of the Association of African Air Forces next week. Tell us about this.
So the Ministry of Defense through the Zambia Army will be hosting this event for the first time since the inception of the association in 2015. So Zambia Army the commander, General Oscar Nyoni, is the current chairperson of the association. So he said that the symposium will attract over 41 countries across Africa. Then also the event will be held under the theme Collaboration and Operational Excellency, Enhancing the Effectiveness of the Association of African Air Forces. So this is aiming, this symposium is an international security cooperation that is an initiative aimed at addressing key challenges affecting African air forces.
All right, thank you very much for that update, Mike. We're going to swing straight into some sport. The Copper Queens are leaving no stone unturned as they intensify preparations for their upcoming friendly matches against Malawi's Scorchers. Tell us about that.
So the friendly matches will be held on the 22nd and the 25th of this month. And the friendly matches are coming at a time when the Copper Queens have got a new coach, Swiss international coach Nora. So she has assembled a team that comprises 8 foreign players who include Barbara Banda, Rachel Kundaranji, and also some local players that were picked from the 35 that she selected. So these friendly matches will be held at Ares Arena in Lusaka. And Coach Nora told the media briefing that she was impressed with how much support the Copper Queens have managed to draw from so many soccer fans in Lusaka. Then on the other hand, the coach for Malawi, Lavmo Fazilia, he says these two friendly matches are not friendly matches to him. They are only friendly matches on paper, but on the pitch, it will be a different ball game. So Zambia is using these friendly matches to prepare for the upcoming WAFCON in Morocco. In Morocco, then also Malawi is using these friendlies to prepare for the next qualifiers of the WAFCON.
All right, Mike. However, behind the glory of women's football lies a heartbreaking story. Lydia, a rising star, has taken to social media to plead for financial support, shedding light on the challenges faced by athletes in Zambia.
Yeah, it is one of those sad stories coming from Zambia in terms of women football. So Lydia Shamilima is 19 years old, and she was also a member. She's member of the under-20 winning COSAFA that Zambia won last year. So her video went viral, where she was seen pleading for financial assistance from members of the public. So following this development, the Football Association of Zambia moved in, and they did provide financial assistance. Then also other stakeholders have also come in to provide financial status. Then the story that also came up is that her parent club, ZICD, did refute that the club has not been paying a monthly income. They said that she has been a member of their team, and they have been making financial support. And it was unfortunate that the story came out the way it came out, portraying a picture that our parent club does not pay her, hence asking for financial assistance from members of the public. So this is a story that has divided the nation in terms of women football getting support. But the challenge which is there is that most these women teams are supported by individuals who have to make means to ensure that these players are sponsored. So some of these players get as low as $20 per month as a monthly salary, despite Zambia's women football last year generating over 5 million United States dollars. You saw the likes of Barbara Banda, Rachel Kundananji being breaking records in terms of transfer fees. So it is a sad reality when you look at the grassroots football in terms of women football in Zambia.
All right, Mike, we certainly hope she gets all the help that she needs. Now we're going to put your entertainment together in a fiery revelation. Popular musician Yo Maps has called out the Zambia Association of Musicians, accusing the body of failing to support the very artists it represents. And on a brighter note, the arts community has received a significant boost from UNESCO. Please give us those stories as concisely as possible.
Yeah, so Yo Maps has been making waves in the Zambia music industry, despite him being one of our popular artists. On the other hand, he's also been very critical of the Zambia Association of Musicians. It came up like this because the Zambia Association of Musicians recently announced that no musician will be allowed to perform in Zambia if the musician is not a fully paid up member of the association. So Yomap did say, actually, the association does not do anything for musicians. They only pop up when there is a funeral of an artist who has died. So this issue of them restricting promoters and event organizers not to hire a member who is a musician who is not paid up member is not here nor there. So this has divided the association because other musicians like Biflo, Roberto, these are veteran musicians. They have backed the association to say that no musician should perform in the country if they are not paid up members. But Yomaps does not think that is the right way to go by the association. Then lastly, UNESCO has provided the funding of over 95,000 United States dollars to the National Arts Council of Zambia. So this development was made during the the 18th session of the Intergovernmental Committee for the Protection and Promotion of Cultural Expressions that took place in UNESCO headquarters in France. So this is the first time that Zambia is benefiting from this support. So the support is aimed at to review the frameworks for the cultural and creative industry and improve the working conditions for musicians in the country. So probably maybe the Zambia Association of Zambia, the Zambia Association of Musicians is going to benefit from this funding so that the likes of UMAPs should not be putting the association under its feet.
Thank you very much, Mike, for giving us the comprehensive report on Zambia. We expect you to keep it going as we link up again on Monday.
Thank you very much for having me. Africa, good morning to our dear viewers.
Africa, good morning indeed. We're quickly going to have a look at the weather before we return with Ari Hohad. All right, it's time for sports with Ari Hohad. Ari, we've got limited time. Quick fire shots if you can.
Yes, a very good morning, Ashwin. Yes, quick fire shots indeed. Football first, English football, English Premier League, and is Liverpool still leading 60 points they have after 25 games. A tough win for them at home against Wolverhampton, 2-1. And then keeping the pressure on them is Arsenal in second position, Arsenal with 53 points, and just 7 behind them, Arsenal beating Leicester City 2-0. The late game yesterday on Sunday was Manchester City that travelled to Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham Hotspur winning that game by 1-0. Tottenham Hotspur now 12th on the log. And Manchester United that played against Tottenham Hotspur. Manchester United now in 15th position on the log, not doing well in the season, unfortunately. Big games coming up this coming weekend. Make a note of that. Might be a title deciding in the small. It's Manchester City hosting Liverpool this coming Sunday. Arsenal at home against West Ham. Rugby, real quick. It is United Rugby Championship. The Sharks beat the Bulls in Pretoria 29-19. And that's the Lions beating the Stormers. That game was played in Johannesburg. The Lions too strong for the Stormers, 30 points to 23. And then also golf news, it was Ludwig Aberg that came through. That was early this morning. That's Ludwig Aberg there in action from Sweden, who won the Genesis Championship on the PGA. 12 under par, McNeely 11 under par, and Scotty Scheffler, the world number 1, third on 9 under par. And Joachim Niemann won the Live Golf that was played in Adelaide. And then lastly also tennis, Amanda Anisimova. She's from the United States. It sounds like she's from the Eastern Europe, but Amanda Anisimova, she won the Qatar Open. That's tennis, WTA women's tennis. She beat Yelena Ostapenko in the final 6-4 and 6-3. And that's the sports news for today on this Monday. Great week for everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Ari. DStv 285, GOtv 25, oneup2.com, and Network Media Hub is where you can find Africa Good Morning. From me, Ashwin Berry, and the Africa Good Morning team, Zambia Kuchalo.